Hello, my friends. This is MC Oda, and welcome to this episode of my Minecraft Survival Let's Play. Let's get started. So last episode, I created this villager curing station here, and we left with this guy. Well, I went ahead and converted him 3 more times, so he was converted a total of 5 times. And now all of his trades, and then I leveled him up, and all of his trades are now as cheap as they can get. And you know, one thing that's cool with these librarians is that they will often open up other book trades. But this guy was nice enough to not just give me mending, but give me mending again. So not very useful there. And then his one that he gave me down here is Impaling 4, which for me isn't all that useful because I've never really been a trident user. But I got him all the way up to full, and whenever I am ready to make him a house, he is ready to scoot on out of here. But I'm not going to do that today. Today, instead, I wanted to show you. In here, I went ahead and did a few minor improvements. I put a ceiling on the building here, and I put some lighting, some permanent lighting in, and when we left the last episode, these were trapdoor shelves, except every time I hit this button, this trapdoor would open, and I really wanted to put a lantern up there, and that wouldn't work with the trapdoor, so I went ahead and made those slabs. Also, I did several things actually off camera. I also went ahead and reworked this room. I put a bunch of stone bricks in here and made that look nice. So whenever I'm ready to incorporate that, I can build a little outside entrance here, and I can incorporate it into the villager breeder later. But this room is now ready to go. Couple things else that I did off camera. I went ahead and took a couple of those mending books, and I went to my spider grinder, and I brought some of my diamonds, and I went through and did some enchanting and disenchanting until I got to my best silk touch pick. So now that it is as maxed out as I want it to be, I named it Oda's Silk, and I did the same thing for my fortune pick, and that guy's all leveled up. And while I was there, I didn't like my flaming sword, so I did that with a couple of swords, and I ended up with this pretty wicked sword that has just about everything on it. The only thing I don't like is that it's not sharpness 5 yet. Unfortunately, one of the swords with a couple of those abilities was sharpness 4. The other one was sharpness 3 with a few of those abilities, so I unfortunately didn't get it to sharpness 5. So he's going to hang out unnamed until maybe I can get a sharpness 4 book at some point in time and get it on here, and then he'll get named. Another thing I did while I was off camera, I went ahead and I tested this pick out, and I wanted to do some resource gathering. So one thing I've been finding with these episodes is I'm often running very low on resources. I've been low on coal this entire game. I've been very low on iron most of the time. And I think the reason for it, usually when I'm playing just by myself or whatever, I do a lot of caving. Like, I really enjoy caving. I really just like getting down there and exploring the caves and killing the mobs and finding the resources. But I think just hours and hours of me caving could be pretty boring. So I haven't been doing that much in this series. So I decided I'd take a few hours yesterday evening. I took my Silk Touch pick, and I just went down instead of caving, because caving is pretty dangerous, and I didn't want to, end up having some crazy adventures and dying and stuff and having all of you guys miss it. So instead I did some super boring branch mining. And I did several hours of it for a couple reasons. One, I need to just build up a store of resources. But also, version 1.18 is going to be coming out soon. And once it comes out, all the ore distribution is going to change. and I'm not 100% familiar with how that's going to change. I know, I mean, I've seen like some diagrams and stuff about how the different ores spawn at different levels. And so I figured I'd take advantage of the last few days of 1.17 here, where I know that I can just go down to diamond level and branch mine and get pretty much all of the resources at that level. So I just did that for several hours yesterday evening, and I went through this pick 3 times. Got him all the way down to the red sliver 3 times and healed him back up. And this is what I got. This is all the coal that I got. That's a lot of coal. So I'm definitely never going to run out of coal again. And then this is everything else. And this is pretty insane. I got almost 4 stacks of diamond blocks or diamond ore, which is just going to be crazy. More diamonds than I'll probably ever use. I got a good amount of gold, which is great because I'm going to need those for my golden apples. I got a ton of iron. Not as much copper, because I think the copper, even in 1.17, it doesn't spawn real low very often. And just so much redstone that I will definitely never even use this much redstone. So I think I'm good on resources, and these will keep me for a long time. And as far as this iron, this will keep me going. I do have plans to build an iron farm at some point, and that amount of iron will keep me going for a very long time. And I'll definitely still have iron left whenever I get around to making the iron farm. So what I wanted to do today was I wanted to build a couple contraptions today. All the contents for these contraptions are in this chest, which I'm going to grab. One of these contraptions involves destruction, and the other contraption involves life. So this will be fun. So let's go ahead and talk about the contraption that brings destruction. As I was, leveling and enchanting and unenchanting and leveling some more, while I've been doing some work down in my spider grinder, I found that these chests are really starting to fill up. So I got these 3 chests down here in the spider grinder, and they're already getting pretty full. And oh, this is fun. Apparently a glow squid or 2 spawned inside there, and I'm not really sure how that happened. Maybe they spawned in one of those 2 source blocks, but that's pretty crazy. But I know that as I use this thing, these chests are just going to fill up, and then these items are going to start flooding my inventory. So I wanted a way to deal with them. So I've decided that I wanted to make a trash can. So there's the contraption that brings destruction. I'm going to make a trash can. So as I get material that I don't need, so as these chests fill up and I don't need it, I can start throwing it into the trash can and removing it from the game so I don't have to worry about it clogging up everything. So I'm going to build this trash can here. And this is a pretty simple build. You know what? I just realized one thing. I'm going to need I'm going to need the stone cutter. Okay, let me go grab my stone cutter. I'll be right back. Okay, I went and got my stone cutter. So now I want to build the trash can. This is a very simple build. I of course did not come up with this. I've seen several tutorials to do these online, so I don't really know of any one specific one I can point to as like the one that is this design. But this design definitely isn't mine, but it is definitely a very well used and popular design. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to use a trap chest at the top of it, and this chest is going to feed into a hopper, which feeds into a dropper pointing down into some lava. And so every item I put in the chest is going to go into the chest, it's going to go through the hopper, it's going to go into the dropper, it's going to get spit out into the lava and get destroyed. So I basically need those 4 components, and then I need some redstone to make the dropper actually fire for each item. It's a pretty simple build. So let me go ahead and get this going. And let's see, the first thing I'm going to need to do is I need to get the dropper facing upwards. Oops, one stone in my thing. Here we go. Let's see. I'm sorry, I need the dropper facing down, and this is where the hopper will be. So, and it's important that you use a dropper and not a dispenser for this, because if you use a dispenser, then there's certain items such as, you know, a bucket of water or shears or something like that, which will actually be used when it's fired in the dispenser and not just tossed out. So you definitely want to make sure that if you're building a trash can, you use a dropper instead of a dispenser. So there's the there's the lava pool that these things are going to get spit into. And I'm just going to leave that here, and I think that'll be okay. All right. So, I'm going to need some room for some redstoning over here. Okay. So then the hopper is going to go into the dropper, and then the trap chest will just go up on top of it. And I've already put them down one too low. This is a very simple build, and I've already goofed it up. The hopper's going to go there, which means the dropper is going to go... Oh, dang it. Some of these components where you have to position them just right, I often have trouble with. Okay. Alright, so he is in position, and then the hopper goes here, and the chest goes on top of that. And the reason why you use a trap chest, if you use a regular chest, then every item you put in this will immediately start going down and being destroyed. And the reason why I like using a trap chest is because you can put your things in there and just do a quick visual to make sure you didn't accidentally put anything important in there. And then when you close it, then it will start triggering, because when it's open, it's sending a redstone signal and it's locking this hopper. So, hey, I didn't think those guys were able to bite me. Huh. That's weird. You know what? There's a lot of them anyway. Let me kill these guys. That's strange. I wonder how I got bit. Okay, I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, now, this is all pretty much ready to go, except now you just need some redstone to fire off this dispenser. And this is where I wanted to use... It's kind of good practice to put your redstone on blocks that don't belong in the environment, just so that if you're mining around it, you kind of know not to break those blocks. Let's see. So, I think I just need to do this. It's going to come out one here. Doop, doop, doop. Alright, so that is the redstone positioning. Okay, and the way this works is pretty simple. You put a comparator leading out, and that means whenever an item goes into the dropper, the comparator will sense the redstone signal and send it out. But the redstone signal it'll send out is really weak. It's just one length. It's either one or two. But then you put a repeater, so that's going to amplify the signal so it can continue on. And then you just wrap that back around into the side of the dropper. So he's going to detect an item in it. He's going to send a signal. That signal is going to come around, and it's going to light this up, and then it's going to trigger it, and it will dispense that item. And then the next thing will fall into it, and it'll just repeat itself over and over until everything in the that you put in the chest is gone. And that should work. So let's try it out on some eyeballs. So you can see now with the trap chest, these aren't emptying into the hopper yet until I close the lid. There they go. kind of see them flowing through. And each one triggers that. So you can see how dull that redstone was, because it's a very weak signal coming out. That's why you need the repeater to strengthen the signal. That's it. That is the trash can. Like I said, very simple build. There is like a billion of tutorials online on how to build this. So if you want to find it for yourself, it is a very easy one to find. All right. And that's why. This is why I needed my my stone cutter, is because I want to put an upside down stone stair, or not upside down. Doesn't have to be upside down. It just has to be backwards. I want to put this here, so that way this chest will still open, but from the front it will look like a nice clean stone wall. Boom, there it is. And that's my trash can. Can I see behind it? I kind of can. It's hard to see, but I know that it's not empty. There we go. Perfect. All right, there's my trash can. So now as I crank through the spiders here, oh, look at that one hit. That is so fantastic. I love this grinder. And then as this inventory fills up and I don't need it all, I can just chuck them all in here. And there you go. All right, that's it for that contraption. So now let's go back to my house for the second contraption. So this one's going to be a little bit more involved. So that one was a contraption to bring destruction. Now I need to build a contraption to bring life. So that life is going to be in the form of, that's right, chickens. I'm gonna build a chicken farm. Okay, so I found a couple chickens in the wild and I threw them in this hole, and while I've been doing some of this off-camera work, like I've been doing farming, I grew and harvested a few trees because I know I'm going to need the wood. And all the while, these guys were down here laying eggs into this barrel. So I should have plenty of eggs to put chickens in my new chicken farm. So, as far as building the chicken farm, there's, again, very simple automatic chicken farms that you can make, where you put the chickens in, they lay. In fact, they use a mechanism very similar to the trash can I just made, except instead of a dropper, you put a dispenser, and then it dispenses the egg into a compartment where any chickens that are spawned from those eggs will grow and then die whenever they grow older. So I could just build that just anywhere I wanted to. I could build it out here in the grass. I could build it into the side of a hill. But I wanted it to, they typically, they're not very attractive. So I wanted it to look nicer. And I was thinking maybe I could integrate this into a chicken coop, right? So maybe I can make a build that's like a chicken coop, and then that chicken coop can kind of be hiding the chicken farm. So I went online for some inspiration, and I saw a great tutorial on how to do exactly that. Sorry, I had to count that out. And I really liked their chicken coop, and their contraption underneath the chicken coop was very, very elegant and very compact and very confusing to me. I didn't understand how it worked, but I do understand how the basic chicken farm works, and I understand how a basic item elevator works. And I already kind of had an idea on how to incorporate those two things. So I kind of used inspiration from this tutorial. I used some elements of it as far as like getting the chicken farm underground and being able to pull the items back up to the surface. And then I'm definitely taking their actual chicken coop. Was a very beautiful build. So up top here is going to be the chicken coop from that video, and I will put a link to that tutorial in the description of this video. But know that everything from basically the ground level down is not their design. It is just this old clunky design of my own, integrating the two different pieces. Oh, that's great. Most of this is already empty. Yes. And but if you want to build this chicken coop and you want the actual the well built, nice, compact design, absolutely go check out their video. And it really does look like a cool build. But if you want the sloppy, dirty redstone massive thing that I'm going to build, you're free to copy mine. Okay, so first I need to dig out this hole. Let me dig out this hole. I'm basically digging out a hole that's big enough that I can work without having to be cramped. So I'm going to dig out this hole, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so that should give me plenty of room to work. And let's see. So I built everything from the ground level down in a oh, it's raining. Okay, well, I built everything from the ground level down in a creative world, and but I didn't want to have to constantly switch between this and the creative world to remember how I did it. So I just kind of wrote down a bunch of notes on a piece of paper, and I'm going to be referencing those as I build this. But as far as, let's see, I'm trying to decide if I want to build it from the bottom up or from the top down. So the top down, I can build it and kind of explain how it works as I go. And if I go from the bottom up, you kind of can't really see how it works until it's done. So I think I'll go top down, although it might be a little awkward. I think it'll ultimately be make for a better demonstration. So one of the first ideas I took from the tutorial that I was telling you about was that they have the coop centered over a 4x4 set of hoppers. So the chickens inside this 4x4 area, see, I can't tell if it's nighttime or getting ready to be nighttime or not. Is he sleeping? Yep, okay. So they have the coop sitting over a 4x4 set of hoppers. I'm sorry, a 2x2 set of hoppers. And then the chickens that are in that area will lay eggs into those 4 hoppers. A typical chicken farm is just a single hopper. So basically, I'm going to have these 4 hoppers feeding into, down into one single hopper, which will be, how the coop normally would be. So to start this, I need to angle them correctly. So this is going to be where the hopper, where the single hopper going down into the mechanism will be. So these other 3 are just going to feed into it. Okay. And let's see. And the way this is positioned, the front of the coop is going to be here. And yeah. So I'm having to I'm sorry. I'm kind of I sound like I'm a little absent-minded, but I'm trying to reference my notes while I'm doing this. So again, I'm trying to speak and think at the same time, and sometimes that just doesn't work for me. So this hopper is going to go down into the mechanism. So then the mechanism it's going to go down into is the dispenser, and the dispenser is going to be facing. He's going to be facing forward. Yeah, because his redstone is going to come out this way. Okay. So underneath here, this dispenser's redstone is going to loop out this way. And then the elevator's redstone is going to loop out that way. That's why I kind of made this big area here. So now I need to put the dispenser here, and I need to have it facing this way. So now in this one, you need a dispenser, because if you used a dropper, it would literally just spit the egg out and the egg would be sitting here. But if it's a dispenser, it acts as if you threw the egg, and so therefore the egg will either break or create a chicken, and it will create a chicken in the space right in front of it. So to create the space for this thing to create the chicken into, first of all, we're going to put a kind of a lid over top of it, and then we're going to have it create the chicken. This is also a little bit awkward building from the top down, just by just with the scaffolding. So that's the chamber we want to spawn the chicken into. So when the chicken gets spawned into here, and we are going to close this off. Well, I'm going to put glass on two sides of it. Let's see. That's the chamber that the chicken's going to spawn into. And when it's a baby chicken, it can easily fit in this half square height with no problem. But then whenever it becomes an adult chicken, it will suffocate in this dirt, and then it'll die, and it'll drop its goodies down into a hopper that will be underneath this. If you wanted your chickens to be cooked, you could make this a lava square. Of course, it would look weird in the build I'm making. But if this was a lava square, then whenever the chicken became an adult, he would die because of the lava, and he would actually drop cooked meat and feathers. I'm only interested in the feathers, and I need these feathers to make arrows because I don't have infinity yet, which is the whole purpose of this build in the first place. So I'm okay with the chicken coming out raw, because I really have no need for cooked chicken. And at least the raw chicken in the future, if I wanted to, I could maybe use the raw chicken to trade to a butcher villager or something. So I'm fine with raw chicken, so suffocation damage will be good enough for me. So let's see, enough rambling. So let me do the next part, which would be the hopper. So once the chicken suffocates and dies, he'll leave his drops in this square, and then this hopper will pick them up, and they're going to shoot them forward into a dropper. This typically you would just put it into a chest, right? And then you would come by and collect all your goodies later. But I want to get the goodies back up to the surface so that I don't have to kind of dig down underneath to get to them. So, well, actually, hold on here. I'm jumping ahead of myself. Let me do the redstone for this dropper. And I just fell. Okay, let's see. There's my andesite. Here we go. All right. Okay. So the redstone for this is just as simple as the redstone I did for the trash can. I just need to send the signal loop around and back into itself. So the signal's gonna come out this direction. So that's gonna be my comparator, and then redstone, repeater, redstone, 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 redstone. Same exact redstone as can I get it? There we go. Same exact redstone as the trash can. It's just whenever something goes into this dispenser, this will detect it and trigger it and fire the dispenser. And can I get it going that direction? Excellent. And I can't get out. I boxed myself in. All right, there we go. So that is the redstone to make the dispenser work. Simple, simple stuff. All right, so let me demonstrate. Let me make sure it's working and demonstrate how it works. So now anything that goes into these hoppers, so we'll send in some redstone. See, they get shot out one at a time here, and they're landing down in this hopper. And if those were chicken eggs, they would be either breaking or spawning baby chickens. So that's all working. Excellent. So now all I need to do is make a dropper elevator to get them back up to the surface, so that I don't have to like have a trap door and a ladder to get down to my eggs. All right, so this This was going to end up looking like a bit of a mess, but it's just because it's just going to be a big redstone circle, kind of. All right, so my droppers are going to be facing up. So instead of, so it's going to go up, 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 and then on the very top is going to be sitting a barrel. So this barrel will be where I pick up my my chicken feathers, and my raw chicken is going to be that barrel right here at the surface. So to get this to work, let's see. This is pretty simple. Okay. Similar. Oh, this I need. Okay. So I'm going to have, this is going to be a comparator coming out of there, and then a repeater, and then I'm going to start with a redstone loop. However, my loop is going to go 2 different directions. Let's see. I wish I had found bamboo by now, because I kind of like using the scaffolding that the bamboo lets you use. All right, comparator is going to get the signal coming out of this thing, and the redstone repeater is going to amplify that signal. So now I'm going to start a redstone loop. So first thing I want to do is have the redstone loop all the way back around to the dispenser, to this dropper, I'm sorry, so that will fire. Move that one when I'm done. Okay, I believe that's all I need to do for that. Okay, so the first thing I need to do is loop this signal all the way around back into here, except they connect here. So I need to break that connection by placing a block there. Okay. So I don't want those 2 circuits to mix, so that's still its own circuit, and then this is its own circuit. Okay, and we can remove the dirt that doesn't need to be there, because that's not part of the build. Okay, now to trigger this stack of droppers, I'm going to be using an observer to detect a signal change, and then that observer is going to send a signal back into these here. So the observer is, I can't remember if the observer is at this level or the one below it. Let's see. I've got the observers here. Okay, yep. All right. Where's my dirt? Okay, so my observer is going to be looking down, and what it's going to be looking down at is, I'm going to pull this signal down there, and I don't need the one on this corner, because as I move the signal down there, so this signal will now go this way. It'll go both this way to trigger. It's nighttime already? Ah, geez, holy cow. All right, here, let me go sleep, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. And so as I was saying, when this thing triggers and it sends the signal out, the signal is both going to wrap around and trigger itself to fire the item, but it's also going to come down and see how this redstone doesn't go into anything, but this observer will see that redstone changed state, and that will trigger a redstone pulse coming out of the back of the observer here. And I can put a block there and a redstone redstone dust here, except I think I need to break this. Okay, there we go. So that's going to send a signal into this, and then that redstone dust is going to trigger these. And now somehow, and this bit of magic, I'm still not aware of how exactly it works, but somehow this ends up getting all 3 of these to trigger, and the items will go all the way up into this barrel. So I can demonstrate that by doing this. I'm going to go ahead and I'll put these 16 pieces of granite in here. So you can see this thing, as they pop into here and they go into here, this is triggering this thing. And this pulse is causing this thing to fire, and this pulse is something's breaking. What did I do wrong? But they're all in the barrel. I'm not sure why this is breaking. Let's see. What is this thing doing? Okay, it did not do this in my testing world. I'm not sure why it's freaking out like that. Okay, I have to be missing something here. Let's see. Dropper facing up here. We got a redstone dot out here. Oh, I know what it is. This wasn't supposed to be here. That's not supposed to be there. The way I got the signal to bypass this was with a repeater. Okay, yeah, that's right. Yep. So okay, let me get back up. Same deal as before, except now instead of trying to use a block like that to break the signal, I just use a repeater to scoot by without connecting to this and then into this. So let's try that again, and this should work. Let's see, and I'll start from the top again. So we'll go all 16. They're feeding through. Pop, pop, pop. Okay, see, this feels a little bit less spastic. I think this is working much better. All right, and there they are. And apparently there is one left over because one of them gets caught somewhere in the system, and I'm not sure where. Okay, I think it gets caught in this last one. And that's just a known thing with these dropper elevators. So once the next thing comes in there, it'll kick that out. Right, so now if I stick a bucket in here, bloop, now all 16 granites are up here, but now the bucket's stuck in here. So I'm perpetually going to have either one feather or one chicken stuck in this top one, but that is no big deal. All right, well, that is the mechanism. This entire chicken farm is done. Now I just have to build the coop. So I'm going to remove this scaffolding and make sure that there's enough torches down here to keep things nice and lit up. And I'm going to kind of keep this open down here. So if I want to come down later and do any work on this, everything is accessible. So let me drop a couple torches in here just to make sure that no mobs are spawning. And I don't think anything can spawn up on these, but I'll just put some lights up here just in case. All right. So let's go back up to the surface. And now we can work on the chicken coop. And now, at this point, the rest of this build is 100% from that tutorial that I'm going to link to. Like I said, this is just a really cool looking chicken coop. And it's a really, really nice design. And I'm going to copy it pretty much block for block. All right. So just finish getting this filled in. And you know what I did? I took a lot of this dirt back in the house, didn't I? Yeah. Okay, well, let me go in. I'm going to get some more dirt to fill this up. I'm also going to need some supplies to build this coop. And I'm going to go get those, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I got some material that I will need for this build, and I got some dirt to fill in the hole. Okay, so there we go. The hole is filled. So now the chicken coop is going to sit here, and this is where I'm going to have to kind of, I'm going to kind of reference my notes here because I didn't want to have the tutorial on the screen and kind of pause and play through it. So instead I wrote notes on that as well. So the first thing is, let's see, first we got to cover up these things. So let me get a crafting table out here. I'm going to need some oak slabs. So we're going to use slabs to cover up the hoppers. So this is where the chickens will be situated to lay eggs into the hoppers. And then around that, excuse me, have a little bit of a platform, and I'm trying to get the positioning right. So if this is the, okay, this is the front. So, okay, so we got some oak coming out here with some oak stairs going up into it. And then they did, let's see. Spruce. Okay, that's right. Yeah, I need some spruce stairs. I do have some spruce stairs here. So, is it nighttime already? Holy cow. So, kind of doing some spruce stairs like this. And I think, again, on this side, so I got to put a block to target here. I could have brought my snow pail to do that. And then on this side, they do, let's see, kind of have the stairs like that, and then a slab, and then stairs like this. Okay, let me go sleep. Hold on. Okay, so now I need spruce fences, which, oh, another thing I did off camera is I went up to the village and I harvested a bunch of resources from it. They had a bunch of spruce fences and spruce trap doors. So I went ahead and like just tore all of those off the buildings. So I'm using some of the fences I got from that. So they got a fence here. I believe another fence here. And I think the other one was in this corner. And then one on top of the barrel. I believe that is correct. And let's see. Okay, and then over here next to the oak planks, they did another set of these little upside down spruce stairs. Okay, I believe that's how this bottom level goes. And now here they've got trap doors, but somehow on this one they targeted, and I'm not sure how they did this, but they were able to get them on this inside, but they didn't have a block there to target. I'm not sure how they did that. Okay. And then I think on here, they did them on the outside, and I need more of those. That should be plenty. They did two like that, and then they did a spruce trapdoor here. Okay, I think that was right. Trapdoor. And what is that? Okay. And then here, two more spruce trapdoors. So this is kind of like the little step that they walk up into. And let's see, here they did, let's see, a little fence gate here. I think the fence gate was here. It was opened up like this. I think that's right. I believe that is correct. Okay. Oh, yep, they had a nice little lantern on the front step here, which I thought was really cute. So the lantern on the, oh, see, you can't target that. Okay, these were the ones that they had inside. These were still on the outside. Oh. Why didn't they make it back up? Is my machine not working? Okay, this is not a good sign. Where are my trapdoors? I heard them trigger. Let's see. I heard them go click, click. So why did they not make it up the dropper chain here? And why did it stop working? Okay. Are they here? Okay, now I'm confused. I thought 2 went in there. But I thought there was still... Oh, I probably took that bucket out earlier, didn't I? Here we go. Let me just prime it with a couple pieces of junk here. Okay, so there should be 1 in here. Okay, and then 4 in here. Okay. All right, things are working. Oh, where's the way out? Okay. All right, maybe I picked up 1 and then the other one actually got sent down into the hopper. I'm not sure what happened there. But anyway, these are here. And then this is the one where somehow they got them on the inside without a block there to target. And I, again, don't know how they did that. But that works. So now I can put a lantern on the front porch. And which looks really nice. So this is kind of the main part of the, that's kind of what's forming the coop. And then on top of that, they had a bunch of spruce stairs kind of forming like a little roof going around, which I'll have to make more of those. So, oh, let's see, I don't want to make way too many. How many do they have? About, let's see, 4, 8, plus 6. All right, this should be enough. Okay. So then they just kind of have a little roof going around. And one thing I think is neat is they put the first one there, but then the next one was upside down where it's the little lip going in. Thought that was a nice little detail. So these should just kind of go around the side. All right. For the most part, that's the chicken coop. And we're going to have a little fence out here just to make it look kind of nice and enclosed. And I need to get the chickens in there. So I mainly wanted them here laying eggs so I didn't have to worry about leading them in here. I could... There we go. Got a little ambitious with that. Oh, there's plenty of eggs. I should get more than enough chickens out of this. Now, I don't necessarily want a ton of chickens. I don't need this thing maxed out with like 20 some chickens just cranking out cranking out items. Why am I picking that? I don't need to pick that up right now. I can leave it here. Let's see. Mainly, I just need a couple really, and if they just very slowly lay eggs, and eventually some of them make babies, and eventually I'm gonna get feathers. I really just am looking for feathers to build arrows with until I get infinity. So I really don't need a ton. So I'm sure however many these eggs make will be more than enough. Okay, there was 1 out of that stack. That's 3. 4, 5. Might even be enough. You know what? I think, what is that, 5 or 6? I think that's plenty. That really, like, I don't need a ton of chickens. I really don't. I think that'll be enough. Okay, and then they kind of make this little fenced-in area here. We're gonna kind of go like this and go like 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 4. That looks good. We do another one here. Except we kind of come out. We're gonna put the fence here. Okay. Oh. There we go. And here they did this neat little thing where they stuck a, let's see, stuck a little spruce slab in here, and then they made that like a little watering hole, which was kind of cool. And then what they did here was they just stuck another chicken or two in this front part. You went the wrong way. Okay. There's one. I'll get a second one. There we go. So now we got a couple chickens walking around, so it gives the illusion that the chickens can come in and out. But oh, how did you get out of there? Because you're still a baby. Okay, you know what? Maybe I'll just have to bring an adult over here. How can I not hit the baby chicken? That was weird. My sword was going right through it. Okay. I don't want a bunch of chickens wandering around. Let me see if I can lure one of these adults over here, just so that they can just be in there and not break the fence. I need a grass seed. Mobs. Dealing with mobs. You never know what to expect when you're dealing with mobs. Okay, put some of these back away. Alright, again, I don't need a bunch of them in there, maybe just one or two. And it's nighttime again. Holy cow. Alright, so I definitely don't need all 5 of you, but let's get you over here. And we'll get 1 or 2 of you in here. And then the others of you will become feathers. Alright, good enough. Okay. Alright. Yeah, there you go. So, the 2 chickens walking around in here kind of give you the illusion that the chickens can kind of come and go out of the coop, which is pretty cool. And then, but then of course the ones that are in the coop, they're stuck in there. They're not going anywhere. And I do need a couple more slabs just to finish this thing off. And then the ones that are in here are the ones who are actually doing the business. They're going to be the ones laying the eggs and creating the new chickens. And they have the slabs even with this, but then that makes them spawnable, doesn't it? I don't want them to be spawnable, so I'm going to actually put the roof up 1. So these are top slabs. Oops. All right. So now this should be the only spawnable square. Let's check the light level here. It looks great. And everything out here. That looks like that lantern is keeping everything in here from being spawnable. Excellent. Wow. Good design. Awesome. Yeah, go check out this video that I linked to. You know, give this creator some views and some likes and all those good things. Again, if you want to do this chicken coop, you can make the bottom of it look a lot more compact and probably more professional looking by following the actual tutorial. But yeah, this is it. That's my chicken coop now. That looks really good. All right, I like it. I'm happy with that. So now, there's probably not a whole lot of time left in this episode now. So there was a couple other small little tasks I wanted to get done today. And that was just some quick decorative things. Let's see. A couple things. First of all, the roof of that house, I think it's too much of one color. I think that roof needs to be kind of like this one here. So on this one, I use the dark oak stairs to go with the spruce logs. And the dark oak planks and the spruce logs look very much the same color. So what I'm thinking is I keep the outline of it in the dark oak the way it is, except I change the inside of it to spruce stairs. So it'll be kind of like a look like that roof. So I want to do that real quick. And that was also part of why I was harvesting some trees off camera. And then I also want to do a few things to spice up the outside of this house. So let me go ahead and I'm going to go make some stairs, and I'm going to tear down that most of that roof and replace it with the spruce stairs. And I should have enough on me to, oh yeah, I end up doing pockets. All right, so let me go ahead and do that, and then I'll get back with you when I'm done with that. Okay, so that roof is done, and I think that looks way better. It gives it some contrast and some texture. And oh, by the way, that chimney was also a little detail I had added off camera when I was working on the inside and the underneath. Yeah, I think that looks way better. Good improvement there. Okay, excellent. Now, the other thing I wanted to do today was a couple improvements to the exterior of my house. I had a couple ideas, and I'm not sure if this is going to work or not. So I mentioned that I had harvested a bunch of materials from the village over there, and mainly it was a lot of let's see, not dark oak fences, spruce trapdoors. Here we go, whole bunch of them, like over a stack of them. So what I was thinking was that I could use these to maybe make the front of my house look a little bit better. And I was thinking, oh, here's another thing. When I was doing all of my branch mining down there, I came across another geode. And I don't know if you saw the episode where I found the first one early on. I was mentioning that I thought there were different sizes, but I wasn't sure. Well, this definitely confirms it. So when I found that first geode, I got about 10 stacks of calcite out of it and about 9 stacks of amethyst. This other geode I found literally 4.5 stacks of calcite and 2.5 stacks of amethyst. So definitely this was a big one and this was a small one. So in case you were wondering, that is definitely a thing. Let's see. So what I was thinking about, I wanted to add a little bit of texture to the front of this house. So I like the look of it, but it also is just physically very flat. So two things I was thinking about doing. One way to make these logs look like they have a little bit of depth to them is to run some fence posts up them on the outside here. And the way this dark oak looks a lot like the way the dark oak like planks and then the items you make out of dark oak look a lot like the same color as the bark of the spruce. I was thinking some dark oak fences kind of running down this thing like this might be kind of cool, just to give a little bit of texture and a little bit of depth. So when you're looking at the house, it doesn't feel so flat. It actually has some texture to it. I was thinking about doing that. I was thinking I might just do it on the 4 corner pillars, maybe not on all of these center ones, but I'm not sure. And I was thinking about maybe doing either the fences or probably gates actually across these cross beams. So if I had just had it like had these going up the main pillars and then across the cross beams, I think that's going to add some texture to the house. But the other thing I wanted to try, and this involves the spruce trap doors. I need a sip of water. So when I got the trap doors from the village, they were being used as shutters on pretty much all the houses. So whenever I built this house, whenever I made the double thick walls with the exterior and the interior, it meant that when these windows were lined up with the interior wall, they kind of made this off-centered look out here. And I wasn't happy with that. And I was wondering if I could use shutters to kind of solve that problem. But when the shutters go right up against the wood here, it starts looking kind of funny. But if the shutters on this side, they kind of extend the window, they give the window some depth and some color, but you can still see the white around it. So I was thinking maybe these windows don't have to be 2x2s. Maybe I can get away with them being 1x1s. So, of course, all but one of these rooms is unoccupied right now. But what I was thinking was, if I made these 1x1s, they would still look fine from inside. In fact, from the inside, it would actually, so for example, if this was a 1x1 as well, you still get the windows. You can still see out of them. You actually get a little bit more wall space to do something with. And then what's going to happen is from the outside, if we do that, then we'll actually have some room that we could do shutters around that little 1x1 window. Like that. I like that. Yes, I like that a lot more than that. That has character. It's well centered. And we saw from inside the room, you can still see out of it just fine. Okay, I think I'm going to do that to all of these like corner ones that were off-centered. So these four. I haven't figured out what I'm going to do with the middle yet. All right, so let me go around and I'm going to do this with all of these windows real quick. And then I'll come back with you, and then we can maybe talk about these center windows and how I want to handle those. All right, I'll be back in a moment. Okay, well, that made a huge improvement. I like that so much. Okay, that looks really good. So no, I wonder what I can do with these other windows. So if I did the same thing, that would make these single pane windows as well, which might not be so bad. I might do that on these sides, but now this has me wondering what I can do. So if I make these single pane here to where the shutters are here, then you would still see the calcite, but then these shutters, well, I don't know if that looks so bad. Yeah, I think that'll look good, because I mean, I think your mind kind of realizes that these shutters are with this window and these shutters are with this window. I don't think that looks funny. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let me do it to these as well, and I'll be right back once I'm done with those. Okay. Yeah, I think that looks way better. That looks so much nicer. All the windows are centered. We don't have those obnoxiously long windows. Yep, I think that's a big improvement. No, I went through all the trapdoors that I scavenged from there. I went over a stack. I actually had to make some more to finish this off. Okay, now, hey, I just heard this thing fire off something. I guess these guys are already laying eggs down there. Great. Now I wish these guys would actually walk around. Why won't he walk around? He's just stuck in there. Okay. All right, I'm distracted by the chickens. Okay, so now as far as the fence posts, creating some depth on these poles. I think when you look at them from here, it looks pretty cool. But when you look at them like from the side, it looks a little strange. Trying to decide if I like that or not. You know what? You know what? Let me give it a go. I harvested a whole bunch of dark oak for this specific reason, so let me go ahead and give it a try. I'll give it a try on this one, and then I'll make the cross beams going across. And we'll just see how that looks. And if it looks good on this side of the house, I'll do it on the other side. All right, well, let me go ahead and get that started. And I'll be back with you once I get my dark oak and once I get this done. All right, be back with you in a moment. Okay, so I finished this side, and I think this actually looks pretty good. So if you come at it from a distance, yeah, it kind of gives it some depth. Gives it a little bit of something going on there besides just complete flatness. Yep, I think I like that. All right. Well, I am going to go ahead and continue that pattern on the other side, and then I guess coming across the front. And I'm not sure if I want to do this on all the verticals. Like here, I just have it on these two outside verticals. I don't have it on these interior ones. These in here. And I think that looks good. I don't think it has to be on all of them. I think it just has to be enough to give it a little bit of depth, just to give your eye something to focus on, or just something to notice that you'd see that it's not just so flat. So, all right, cool. Well, I think I'm going to do that to the other sides of the house. And let me go ahead and take care of that, and I'll be back with you in just a moment. Okay, well, I have finished all the sides of the house, and I think that looks pretty cool. That's good. It adds a little bit of character, a little bit of depth. Now, you see how I did it on both. I did these on both of the horizontals, but on this one, I only did it on the one, because I figured that one is tucked right up underneath the roof, and the roof line kind of sticks out already, so it really didn't need it on that top one. I did also run these fences down along the ones by the door, but I didn't do it on any of these other vertical ones. I think that looks good the way it is. So let me take a look at it from all these other sides. All right, let me kind of step out here and take a look. Yep, I like it. Awesome. And I did put the stone brick ones on the bottom here to match the foundation. Awesome. I like it. It's a nice little detail that adds some depth and some character. It stops it from being so flat. Perfect. All right. Well, I think yeah. I think that's going to look really good. Awesome. So, all right. Well, I think I'm probably at time by now. So I think that's going to be a good episode. We made a couple contraptions. We made a trash can. We made a chicken coop, and we did some improvements on my house and on the villager curing station over there. So, all right. This looks good. Well, I appreciate you watching and hanging out with me today. And hope to see you again. And I'd love it if you dropped me a line in the comments and said hi. And until next time, you take care of yourself. All right, bye-bye.